Welcome. We are now having another session of, this is season 1, episode 3 of, Real Raw Entrepreneurship. Man, what time is it? It's like 3 a.m. in the morning, and it is, Central Time. Didn't get a chance to finish all my projects for this week, but I made some major steps forward. And, I guess what I'll talk about today, this one's unscripted for real, is that, hey, got me some good old Papa John's pizza. It's early in the morning, about to work on some more of this project. It's Saturday, early in the morning, and my part-time job, really, it's good. I really did a lot better this week on prioritizing that, so that's a good update, and it really made some progress forward in the projects that I'm working on, so that's been good. Mindset's been on 10, on 100. It's been good, been staying positive there, and family life is good. Man, I couldn't complain. This week has been amazing. So man, I guess this is probably going to be the shortest video of them all, unless there's something else that I can think of to speak about. Yeah, this week has been amazing. Been in the right headspace. A lot of crazy stuff going on this weekend. My wife is a singer, and so she'll be doing. Her band will be playing today, actually. They'll be at a restaurant playing some music, so that'll be good. And I gotta do some filming just like I'm doing here, for my wife, get some views so that she can post those different things up. Man, it's gonna be a very chill, relaxed weekend, at least I believe. But man, that's it, man. Sometimes you have chill weekends in which everything is good and you can relax and sit back, but yeah, again, it's 3 a.m. in the morning. I guess that's where all the ums and ems I'm messing with you guys come from. But if I think of something, what can I think of? There was something I was thinking about earlier. I don't know, man. Let me say this. Why am I doing this? The reason why I'm really doing this is that when about 5 years ago, I had my own mental barriers to entrepreneurship, mental thoughts, mental fears. You know what I'm saying? I was afraid of risk, afraid of, just entrepreneurship, because there was a lot of unknowns that was involved in it at the time, and I just had a curiosity. I still had a passion. I still had a drive, because entrepreneurship started for me when I was young. It seems like I was trained in all this from when I was young, and you'll hear more about my story as you continue to watch more of my channel. And everybody's story is different. Everybody's experiences are different. But man, I grew up. My father was a hustler, and he he had bought property, rental property, where we lived. He had about 8 or 9 houses. He even had a small apartment complex in which there was tenants and all this stuff. And so we were always busy in regards to that. And I didn't know that all the stuff that I was learning, putting up fences, you know what I'm saying, taking out carpet, you know what I'm saying, dealing with different people, as like a landlord, all that's in my history. And my dad was also a painter. We painted. There was one summer where we painted a whole shopping mall or a strip mall. We painted a whole strip mall and I came alongside him. I think I was a teenager at that age, but man, all that experience, going to Dallas, and we used to, when they was doing the architecture stuff, cleaning up, different architectures, the people who are building houses and doing remodeling and stuff like that, cleaning up after them. Kind of didn't have a construction business. My dad was like a jack of all trades, a master of none, what they would say. But he was just good at hustling up jobs, and he, helped me, taught me about pricing, taught me about a lot of stuff. And so that's why am I telling you guys this? Because I feel that people need to understand is that with entrepreneurship, it's not, you're starting it may be different. You know what I'm saying? You may have been the candy man at school selling candy, or selling t-shirts, selling chocolate, or whatever it was, and you got an itch for just entrepreneurship, and now there's this bug inside of you, and you're like, man, when am I going to use it? And that was me about 5 years ago. I'm 30 something, I'm 37. 5 years ago when I was 32, I was like, man, why do I got this entrepreneur thing inside of me? It's just, it's really festering, it's really bubbling. And it's really festering, it's really bubbling, and I really want to do something, but I don't know what it is. And so that's where entrepreneurship started for me, is when I was young in my upbringing. And it's so crazy that now I get a chance to, actually live that out. Now I get a chance to, put that into action, you know what I'm saying? So stuff that I grew up with, stuff that was built on me, and I can go from there. But again, 5 years ago, I was just like you, or who's possibly watching this, a beginner, or who's scared and don't know what to expect, the unknown. And I just needed somebody to really talk real to me, really speak into my fears. And one guy that I really connected with that really did that for me was Patrick Bet-David. Look him up on YouTube. He's over Valuetainment, and very awesome guy. And I followed him 5 years ago, and I really, again, loved the real rawness of entrepreneurship that he had. He really brought you into the real doubts and struggles that you have, the real, I don't know, just like the mentality, just he helped me out so much into like the fears that I had. One time he said, man, I'm still fearful as an entrepreneur. I'm several years in, but I don't allow that fear to keep me stagnant. He kind of uses courage. Fear and courage together helps you to continue to, press on forward, through whatever it is that you're going through, so he, and he just I was like, wow, I'm afraid now where I'm at, I haven't even started, but yet I still want to move forward. And he just really he gave me an example to look at in order to move things forward. Also, you don't know, 5 years ago, me and my wife had a catering business. We were just starting the catering business, and I was actually once a month on a Thursday driving from work about an hour opposite of where I lived. And my wife, was like, hey, that's cool. And I would go to this church, and they were teaching, a church teaching on entrepreneurship. Go figure. It's kind of unheard of in our day, but anyway, I was going to this church and I was just going for the church business that they were teaching about, the Bible on business. And they would teach different aspects of it each month. 1 month would be marketing. The next month would be, the importance of like an attorney. The next month would be the importance of a CPA. man, it was just amazing. And I would travel no problem because I had my curiosity that was there. And man, I learned so much from that group, and there's so many different connections that was made. And man, and that's another thing that, Chameleonaire, I was just watching an interview with him, he said too as well, is that entrepreneurship is about information and relationships. Don't miss that, information and relationships. So people don't understand relationship capital is huge in entrepreneurship. And you kind of want to build on that, Money is cool, that'll come, but if you have the right connections, you'll meet up and do some great things. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling, but I kind of wanted to share that with you again. The reason why I'm doing this is because I wanted a person just like me to come in and say, hey, don't be afraid, don't be scared. Entrepreneurship is fun, it's thrilling, it's exciting. And yes, there's some unknowns, but if you start before you're ready, you'll start to enjoy the process. You'll be able to begin to be more full of life because you're constantly on your toes, you're constantly creating, you're constantly, developing, you're constantly, you won't be the same person 30 days from now if you start and you get going. That's just the reality of it. So, but yeah, man, I'm gonna get off this mic and stop rambling. But man, I appreciate you guys much, man. If you have any comments of anything that you want to know or any topics that you want to know, I would love to speak on it because I've seen many different aspects of it. But again, I'm coming from a place to where my goal with entrepreneurship is I have a wife and 3 kids, and my specific goal is that I love with what Bill Gates said. If I can work twice as less but make twice as much, that's what I want to do. People talk about the 4-hour work week. I don't. Tim Ferriss. I haven't read his book, but I read this book called The One Thing by Randy Keller. I'll type it in the bottom. I'll put the name of the book. But he talks about doing the minimum of 4 hours of focus a day. And he says 7 days a week, but I work 6 days a week. And by the time you get to the end of the year, you get to this thing they call the 10,000 hours, and then you're considered an expert. And so I was just like, okay, cool, let me try this. And man, the book, The One Thing, man, revolutionized the way, I think it's Randy Keller, I think it is. It revolutionized the way that I do business, you know what I'm saying? And how I focus and get extraordinary results. So anyway, I'm gonna stop rambling, but I just kind of wanted to share this with you. I just had an urge to go ahead and show you a late night instead of, I kind of show a lot of day stuff that goes on during the day. But yeah, I'm about to get out of here and get back to my grind because I got some work to do before all my other stuff. So hopefully this is helpful for you guys. I will be dropping a lot more content coming in March and April. But man, I appreciate this. And again, I just want to give back and share with you guys what I've learned, but not only what I've learned, but just the reality of the fears and doubts. They're real. We all have them. Well, maybe you can drop below, one fear that you have of entrepreneurship, whether you're a beginner, just, or, a couple of years in, or even your experience. What's one fear that you have with this process that kind of just affects you? And maybe I'll feature you and I'll talk about that. When I say feature you, your topic. I'll feature your topic and we'll talk about it. But anyway, this is Artiz Strouds, the life coach and entrepreneur. Signing out. Hopefully this has been helpful to you. And I look forward to hearing with you, and take care. Peace.